So good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming back after a very long week of workshop and the first day of hackathon. It's good to see that people are willing to spend this much time getting their projects put together. So we are grateful for the commitment and the energy that we've seen from everybody over the weekend. Just as a reminder, this is being recorded. And I think these group meetings will be live streamed. We'll turn the live stream off while you guys are working. But the session is being recorded. The recording follows James. So if he's in your room, you are currently being recorded. And yeah, we'll move on to today's intro. And just again, here's emails of people who are helping. The LA says only the intro and conclusion session are going to be distributed. So the discussions that take place when James is in your room will not be included in the final YouTube uploads. Just in case anybody's concerned about potential secrecy of their project or their dissertation work or anything like that. So what gets presented is up to you at the end. But do keep in mind that final presentation will be uploaded to YouTube. Schedule for today, we'll have a quick check-in with the full group. We had kind of an extended check-in last night, so this will mostly just be to find out if anything happened overnight with your group. Then you'll have until 2 o'clock to work on your models. We'll have another quick afternoon check-in, just to see how everything's going, what you need for the last work day or work session of the day, and then you'll have until 5 o'clock to continue working on your models, and we may extend that a little bit depending on how things are going and if people need a little bit of extra time. But the plan right now is to start with final reports and discussion at 5 o'clock. Just some quick reminders of some links. Put these in the chat. I think at this point, people probably are getting busy working on their actual code. But here are the links to the supporting documents in case you missed them yesterday and you want to go ahead and grab them for your future reference. I won't go over again what these are, but if you have any questions, just send me a message in the chat. So today's aims, obviously, as we found out yesterday, everybody's gotten off to a good start with their project. So today is just, the goal is to finish integrating the components of your model as you had planned by the end of the day yesterday. And again, your goal should be to pull together a working prototype of at least some aspect of your model. It doesn't have to be the completed full model, but you do want something running that you can start to build upon and iterate on moving forward. And then again, we'll have some final report and discussion at the end of the day. And this is kind of important so that you can get a chance to share with each other what you've learned and how you addressed problems you faced. So I'll talk in a second about any about what to include in your final discussion. But any questions about the structure of today or any technical issues before we get started? Looks like we have a couple of people joining here, so people will probably be joining over the next hour or so. And things get difficult with the time zone differences. Okay, so if there's no questions about the format for today, then what we'll start with is our morning check-in. So again, this is just very quickly, a couple minutes from each group. Just tell us if there's been any updates since our presentation last night, what your goals are for today, and how we can best help you meet those goals. If there's anything specific that you need from us. So we'll just go down the list here. TB or not TB? If you'd like to just start with quick check-in.
Yeah, we've met up a little bit today to try and start implementing some of those pseudocode. Some processes do seem to be working as we expect, so that's good. We are having difficulty with one of them though, so if we could get some assistance once the initial check-in here is done, that'd be great. Also, I think one of our members although we've all got the same code, one of them's getting a slightly different output for, it was to do with one of the chemical fields secreting, which none of us can figure out why, when we've all got the same code, we're getting slightly different outputs. So that would also be something that, if possible, if we could get someone to have a look at that'd be great. But yeah, I think we're just going to try and work through the different pseudocode bits one by one today, and hopefully have it more or less working by the end of today, and be able to start seeing some of those outputs that I showed at the end of the session last night.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, influenza group.
I don't think we have any updates from last night.
Okay. Goals today, anything specific we can help you with?
In terms of what we can help with, I think we were trying to create 2 layers, one for the cells that need to be infected and one for the virions themselves. And we were kind of struggling with that. Maybe if we can get some help on doing that.
Sure. Again, because TJ, we're down 1 instructor, it looks like, so we will be circulating today. It may take a little bit longer this morning for people to get around and talk to people about their setup, so we do appreciate your patience on that, but we'll try to get an instructor to each room as early as possible this morning. All right, cell signaling group.
Yeah, so we don't really have an update since last night, but today we would like to implement our antibody model and see if we can get the signaling in and if we can make the cells respond to the signals that it's sending out. So we're going to try that today, and we're probably are going to come along some problems with implementing this interplay between the cells and the model. So I think at some point we're probably going to have questions about that.
Sure. Like we said before, it would be very unusual if you didn't run into trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Great.
the update.
Thank you. All right. Ovarian cancer invasion has already moved to their room, so I guess we can check in with them. They're very eager to get started, I suppose. Check in with them in a minute. Circadian toxicology, Daniel.
Yeah, so I think yesterday, myself and then Dr. James were able to meet, and then we were able to make some progress in generating a new evaluable that is more explanatory and then realistic than the one that I was using, and I'm grateful to that. And we're also able to define our field. So the next thing to do is to help look at the synchronization between these cells. We need to try and then incorporate the field that we are using into each of these cells to see if they can generate the same expression. So that is what I'm going to look at today. So yeah, I think I'm really what it is.
All right. So wound healing group, Darshan.
Yep, so no updates since last night, but just today I think what I'll try to do is get multiple cells working together, and by the end of the day try to simulate the whole front moving forward. So that would be the target for today. As far as any assistance is concerned, I think I talked with Pedro, so he will pop in my room whenever he's free, and then we'll discuss a little bit about the project and the direction. Yep, that's it.
All right. Zebrafish branching.
Yeah, no new updates from last night, but I wanted to ask if you guys knew if Julia was going to come around today, because I know you mentioned it yesterday, but I don't think he joined.
I'm not sure. I don't think we've heard from him. I can send him an email and maybe he can pop in for half an hour or so to talk with you.
Gotcha. I can always email him later on too.
Hayden, why don't you see if Priyam has half an hour or two?
Okay. Yeah, I'll email both of them.
And
Okay, thank you guys.
I'm happy. Gilberto and Giuliano, I mean Julio also, Julio, I get it eventually. Pedro. also know about links, so they could perhaps.
Yeah,
help.
no, everyone's been really helpful so far. I'm just curious, getting other people's opinions that you guys have mentioned might be interested.
And I'll
Yeah,
definitely
so
come through and talk to you as well.
okay, thanks.
Cool. So then the next is calcium zebrafish.
Yeah, hi. We just have more papers regarding calcium signaling in Zebrafish, but math models. So we will review that, and also we will try to implement today this calcium gradient. Calcium flowing from the reticulum. So yeah, this is our plan for today.
Okay, great. And follicle frenzy.
Hello. So from last night, I attempted to change some of the volume and energy fields on my model. Since my model is very simple, I didn't notice much change. So I'm not quite sure. I'm hoping I implemented them correctly. So I would like to check in with that. And then I also want to check my plans for today to get my antimony models running, which I've already input, but I just haven't run them. And as well as incorporate some of my spacing parameters with some of the actual numbers that I have collected from the literature that I have been referencing. And so I'm hoping after I get those pieces in, then I can talk with Jim. He had checked in last night. Hopefully after I get some more of my model running, I would like to ask him about some more specifics since he really works in reproduction. So I'm looking forward to just getting started to input some of these input some more parameters in my model this morning.
All right, great. Looks like, so Issy's not here yet. We'll check in with her when she comes back, and it looks like Bharat came back. So Bharat, you want to do a quick check-in this morning with your group? Has anything happened since last night?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Awesome. I don't remember till what point I mentioned yesterday, but we were able to get the monolayer model with senescent and non-senescent with the area ratios as we wanted it to be. We were able to, on that, we added cancer cells in random. Actually, I can just quickly share if that's fine. We would need some help. We had some things to think about. We got some ideas and we will have to decide which one seems more feasible.
Yeah, actually, Bharat, before you share very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I think other people are ready to get to the breakout groups. What I do want to talk about first is, so for final reports today, this is my last slide. This isn't necessarily a formal final report. We don't want you to spend a bunch of time putting together slides or anything like that. But we have some questions for you to be thinking about today before we get together for discussion at the end. So just, we'll have you do a quick reflection of what your goals were for today and maybe how those changed as you worked on your model over the day, whether you're able to meet those goals or whether you had to pivot to get the model working. We'll have you briefly review the model structure that you developed so that people can kind of remember what you were doing when you started. And then you can talk about how far you got in implementing it. We'll have you show a video of your model running if you did get it running. And then talk about some of your chief obstacles that you faced over the last 2 days, as well as how you overcame those, because that's always useful for other people to know how you got around challenges that you faced. As well as what you learned that you think might be helpful to other teams. So anything you picked up that would be useful as general knowledge. And then just a couple minutes of discussion of what else needs to be done to finish your model. In other words, what else needs to be done to get it to the point that you imagined in your head when you started? And then what do you plan to do with this model after the hackathon, if anything? Yes, so we'll review this again at the midday check-in as well. That's all I've got for slides. So I think if people are ready to get started, you can go ahead and move to your breakout rooms. get started for the day while we look at Bharat's simulation here. If you'd like to stay and see what Bharat and his group have been up to all night, then you're welcome to do so. But but we will go ahead and get the first work session started, and instructors will start circulating here shortly.
So let me just repeat for people who came in late, or that if the Zoom session dies, I will restart it immediately. And so if somehow you get knocked out of Zoom, just wait 5 minutes and come back in, okay? It shouldn't, but it's possible. So I may broadcast that to the people.
Nasheen, it's not up yet, but I'll upload it right now.
Okay, can you share?
Yes, go for it.
Great. Oops. Okay, so well, I might have to show some images from Slack. Awesome. So what we started with was our initial model with cells like these. So we have, I'm sorry, do not think of red cells as cancer cells as of now. They're just senescent cells. In the simulation, which I'll show you further, there will be cancer cells as red and senescent will be in blue. We changed because we added a new cell type and it just probably got more corrupted, but yeah. So this was our initial monolayer. In that we at random chose a pixel in the lattice and then described its cell type to cancer and made them proliferate, and basically looked at the number of cells of each type within CS to check which are the cells dying. And we had implemented that once a cell's area, right after introduction of cancer cell, if it decreases by half, we kill it. It's not anymore attached to the substratum. That's the idea. So this is what we get. So let's look at the non-senescent cell. It goes on down. Well, I would actually tile it with a senescent cell. So senescent cells are the ones which actually are the ones which start dying off fast because they're more compressible. Well, because we were running around with, we were changing the parameters a lot. So we made simulation to be 100 into 100 and made things to basically, we did not make this monolayer sort that well and stuff because we wanted the cells to start dividing fast itself. But we do observe that senescent cells are the ones which are getting killed. And it's not resolved for that reason because our growth is super fast and cancer cells are dividing very fast and it's basically killing all of them at once. Another thing is that because senescent cells are initialized to the same target volume, when they get and their compressibility for all the cells of senescent type are the same, so they will kind of die in sync if there are no localized pressures, something like that. However, if we make the compressibility something like for every cell little different, then we might see a gradual trend more than a sudden abrupt dip, which occurs between around 200 MCS here. That is one thing which we got. The other thing, as you can see, the number of cancer cells starts increasing, but after a point, you also see they start decreasing because their compressibility is also not very, very high. It's higher compared to the other two, but it's not very, very high. Well, that's all we have implemented for now. We're moving on. We have some things to ask because the way we have implemented, we can change few things. And next, we're gonna start with having senescent cells being the secretor cells, and they generate a chemical field, and then we add chemotaxis and make the cancer cells the moment they're formed to get localized to the senescent cell and then start dividing, because that's the more biologically relevant method wherein they actually get attracted by chemokines. Well, that's all.
You want to show us the movie or run it for us?
Yeah,
do you know
definitely.
how to make movies in CompuCell?
Actually, I don't.
We didn't show how to make movies because you can't do it on NanoHub install. And so since many people were using NanoHub, we felt it wasn't fair to spend main class time showing how to make movies, but it's actually pretty easy. If you're inside of CompuCell Player.
Yeah, I will just play it once to show how it looks like.
Okay, so let's make a movie. So hit pause.
Awesome.
Maybe we should be showing this to everybody, but let's do it anyway. Go to a tool, go to your setup tools. Go to
This?
tool, that one, the configuration, yes, there we go. Okay,
I did click on it. I'm wondering. Okay. Yeah.
okay. Now, under output, you actually are saving an image every 1,000 Monte Carlo steps.
Yes. Yes. I know how to take snapshots.
Okay, fine. So that's all you have to do.
Oh, it does not make a movie. You just
Well,
compile it.
Well, so if are you on a Mac or a piece of Windows machine?
Windows.
Fine. So you grab those snapshots, you put those snapshots in your output directory, go to your output directory. You select all of the snapshots that you've made.
I will actually go it from my Windows, my file explorer.
Fine, there.
It's in Hackathon somewhere.
And I guess the one question is what format those were saved in, but let's find out. So find one of your output directories. We didn't really talk about the fact that when CompuCell runs, it creates an output directory for each run, saving the simulation exactly as it was created. That's something, again, Hayden, we should probably
Okay, I
add
need to
to our
see where it is
documentation.
getting saved. I don't think it's in Hackathon outputs. Okay, good. Sorry.
Again, this is something because in NanoHub, it's a little different. We were focusing on the NanoHub deployments.
Copy and paste the.
This is
Okay, yes. That's
Fine, pick one of your go to simulation inside of there and pick one where you have anyone.
okay.
Go to simulation. Okay, no, it didn't save the movie there. Where did it?
No.
save
I
it?
think it has saved it here.
Okay.
No, it's not.
No.
There. Okay, it hasn't. No, none of them.
So let's just. Oh, I know what it is. Go ahead. Go back to your.
Yeah.
Because you didn't tell it what to save. That's why. So make it save every 10 Monte Carlo steps. Okay. 10. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And now now hit OK.
Okay.
Maybe change the output directory to someplace easier to find. Equals project should save it into the directory where you started, where your home directory. But
All right. But now,
just somewhere you'll be able to find it.
yes. I'm just gonna create a new folder here.
Fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now hit OK.
Yeah.
Okay. Now in the graphics window, click the little camera icon.
Done so.
Am
I supposed to do it several times?
Just one.
Okay, and then I play.
And now hit run. And now let's run it. Let's see if it's saving where you're.
Yeah, because it's sort of pausing every 10 MCS. I believe it is saving.
So let's take a look and see if they're there.
Okay.
There you go. Screenshot data. That's just
Oops.
one. No, that's just on. Okay, sorry. Have they changed this? Go to simulation.
No. This is not the folder where I saved it actually.
Okay, good. No. Jim,
Interesting.
what's wrong here?
I'm not sure why it's not getting saved. There's nothing here.
No, this is by. I should
Okay.
probably not have done this, but on the fly.
Go to the other direction again. The one you had the previous outputs.
This you mean, right?
No.
But this was my output file.
Before you change the output, you
Oh,
had.
that was some random output file. I don't even know which one that was. Yeah, it was in some of these models. It was output of the model, like the code, not
okay. So, but find one that.
If you want, I can share my screen. I've been doing it.
You're able to do it?
So I have all the images. I can find those images as PNG file.
Great. So then if you could screen share that, and let's look at the. I certainly don't want to give people wrong instructions. I think there is documentation. Okay, so fine. So once you have your PNGs, if you're on a Windows machine, it's actually Windows has the internal capability to make a movie. So just select all of them.
Okay.
Right click.
Okay.
And it should be, it may not work for PNGs though, it may only work for JPEGs. Let's see. It should give you an option, let's see, which is go to send to. Let's try to send to. No? It's because it's a PNG. Ah, shoot. We need to save
Open
them.
with.
No, okay, sorry. Just undo. Don't zip them. I mean, you can, but it's not. Okay, just do open with. Okay, select them all and do open with. You have to get rid of that zip. Yeah. So open with. You don't have.
Oh, there's no open with.
Huh. Maybe your Windows is configured differently from what I'm used to. Let me see.
So for one image, I have open with.
Oh, okay, nice.
But I know that using terminal, you can do it with FFmpeg. So I think.
So your operating system may be configured a little bit differently. On most Windows it's desktop installs, if you right click on those images, you could immediately say create movie.
Oh, is that so?
Now it may be that you have to save them as JPEGs rather than as PNGs.
Oh, I can change that.
But the other, we don't have internal ways of making a movie, but in Windows, creating movies is easy. And I guess I don't want to waste people's time. I should do it. I'll figure it. I don't want to flail in front of everybody. Let me figure it, or have Pedro can maybe try for 5 seconds and figure out a strategy on a Windows machine. Because it normally you just select everything, you right click, you says create movie, and it'll do it. Now on Macs, you have to open it in their photo editor, and it'll do it. But I don't know why you're not getting an open in Microsoft option for it.
Open is your Windows in English? Yes, right?
Yeah. So I changed everything to JPEG.
Okay,
James.
see what happens when
Open.
it's JPEG.
Let's see if we see that now.
No.
No.
Open your photos. Open your photos app.
Oh,
That might
okay.
work too.
Or
I know
just
it takes-
open a single image in that directory. Don't open the whole directory. Just
Yeah.
click on one image and then right click it. See if you've got the option.
Let's try that.
There it is.
And open with. Okay. Of course, if you use Photoshop, you could do it, but Photos will do it.
Now try double opening 2 images and see if you get the movie option. If there's anything in that directory that's not an image, you can't open it as a video.
I guess it's possible that there's a hidden file there that's not a.
So I have all the files open in Photos app.
No, but you actually played the movie. It actually played a movie when you opened it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that'll work. Okay.
Let's try. Oh, so
you'll
it's
have
an app that takes me to the Microsoft Store. So maybe it needs
Okay, so maybe you don't have maybe your default install doesn't have that tool. I'm sorry.
No. Close Photos and open Photos. Close the app
Okay.
and open the app, not the image. Open the app.
But I think Jim, Lorenzo, we should probably be helping. Gilberto, we should probably be helping people. If one person wants to help debug this, I think that's good. But I think we can't.
Yeah, let's
We will figure it out and then tell everybody at the next break. How's that?
yeah, I think that works.
It's
But
simple.
the key thing is it is simple, but we
Okay,
should.
the 3 dots. The 3 dots now. The 3 dots. Yes. New. Don't you have a new option?
Yeah,
New.
I have
Okay. Yes. New video.
New video project is there, the one in blue.
All right.
And then drag and put all your images there.
Okay.
And then that's it. Done.
All right.
It's a little different on a PC and a Mac, and it's going to depend on your install. Again, but we should probably instructors probably should show people how to make videos, how to save screenshots, because we didn't talk about it in class. Again, it doesn't work on NanoHub because of the permission. Okay, so I apologize if that was not as clear as it could be.
Yep, no worries. So I'll also try doing this with the command line tool. I know a few of the Linux tools, so maybe if I find something, I can share it.
Great, that would be good. It's a little different on every machine. It's not, so I appreciate that. Okay, let's all distribute, and I will see people